Welcome, Tag Fu. What? The first and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of Egfu. What? Young Michael, I was skipping to the studio just now. Couldn't wait to see what new celebrity impression you were going to knock out for the intro.
Well, there
and
you
to
go.
me, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm off base, that sounds like area celebrity Mike Lisk.
It is. Yeah, I want to keep people on their toes, so I'm not going to give you one every week.
All right.
You know, I did it for
if you want to know, you got to check in.
I have to be inspired. I didn't find anything particularly inspiring this week.
Something inspired you. Is that a new shirt? I mean,
thanks for noticing. Yes, I normally have T-shirts on. You're right. You're correct. But
I'm usually joking when I say, "Gee, maybe I need to look into the books, see what's happening here." But that's also, and well, you always dissuade me. Now I'm seeing you popping up with a new shirt. Maybe I need to take a look. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of the books, we are approaching a round
Subject
number.
Changed.
A round number. I'm not saying a very large number, but a round number, and I will be issuing your first installment of which I'm hoping will be many in the future. Your first payday.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I figure, for the holidays, for the holidays,
Christmas bonus from
a little Christmas cheer. You can probably get yourself a new pair of sneakers with this bonus.
Don't you tease me, Mike Les. Not you.
A good pair of sneakers.
Wow, that is happy Christmas news.
Yeah. So,
wow. All right.
I wanted to surprise you, but since you brought up the books,
I mean, I guess I've been shamed you into checking out the books long enough. All right. Well, a nice little taste will keep me away from actually looking in the books. So you're doing the smart thing.
I'll send you the screenshot. Like I said,
the $30 will keep my mouth shut for a couple of
$30 will buy your silence. Yes,
it'll shut me the hell up for through Christmas at least.
Right? So, yeah.
Well, thank you, buddy. That's nice. Yeah. Thank you, accounting department. / payroll.
Yeah, it's don't spend it all in one place, as they say.
I absolutely will, and that place I'm sure will be Amazon. Pretty much guaranteed that.
Now, I did see that. I guess is it in your hands? Have you been home to finally receive your long-awaited Beatles single?
It is waiting. I got a message from my building. You have a package waiting to, so I think it is set. I am a couple of miles away from the last Beatles song ever, getting to enjoy it. And I can't believe I've made it this whole way without hearing the song on Spotify and video, because videos are always popping up. Nope. So I've made it through the gauntlet. When I put it on my turntable tonight, it'll be the first time ever hearing it. It'll be nice. That's all.
And you're going to document it. You're going to do a reaction video for us.
Well, on one hand, I was like, well, what if I cry? Nobody wants to see that.
No, but then that's viral, man. We need that. We need that. If you're crying,
what if I sit there and listen to it and then I'm like,
Well, that's give us the honest opinion. That's all we're looking for.
Because I don't have any hopes for the song itself to be great, but the occasion is great. So
yeah.
But yes, thankfully, I guess I did something wrong that first time. I did not order it because this seems to have been normal. So
even after you ordered it the second time, it's taking a long time.
I know, but I give
I give you props for trying to avoid Amazon.
I went through the actual site. And I'm sure, I guess that takes a couple days. So,
with all the money they've been reaping, you think they'd be on the ball with their customer service.
Not everybody's getting a big fat cut from the egg food coffers like me and you. So
I think their coffers are a little bigger than ours, slightly.
We don't know.
Yeah, no, we don't know.
We can assume, but we don't know.
Shrouded in mystery. These reissues.
I might set myself to be up to be disappointed by this first thing.
No, like I said, I gave you a good hint. You can get a good pair of sneakers.
Nice.
If you're a
But yes,
sneaker guy.
I'm very excited. Uh, and if there's a comedy god, it'll show up scratched or something. So
I saw that you've been studying reaction videos. Are you new to the reaction videos, or
well, I'm not studying them, but I love them.
you posted one? I saw that you posted one.
Yeah, that's my new favorite. They're just so great. There's something about young, usually African American, listening to music like the Beatles and all that for the Kinks, for the first time, and seeing how much they love it. The excitement, see it through their eyes for the first time. It's just great. It's just, and it's infectious. They get excited. They're happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, no, I like the reaction videos too. They're fun.
They're earnest and genuine, and like you and me, like as old.
Who cares? Yeah.
A lot of times we run up with the music geeks, and they're very condescending and and there's none of that here, and they're just happy, and it's just great. It's so positive and great, and especially the group I posted. I'm just in love with them. They're fantastic. So until they say something remotely bad about Ray Davies, and then I'm going to skip to the next one. But
is that the deal breaker?
They love the Kinks.
When they say something that was just a mid Kinks song.
I forget what song I posted.
That's just mid. Is that like a hot word, or am I behind the times on that word?
What mid?
People using mid. That's mid.
No, it's still super cool, bro. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No. You're still cool.
I seem to be seeing it a lot lately. I'm like, really? Is this the new word? Mid?
Yeah, no, you're hip. I forget what song I posted with them, but yeah, I'll repost just so I get the handle right and everything. But I love them. Yeah. You get so used to being with music people that love to shit on music, and I'm one of them. Would I rather listen to great new music and be energized by it and positive about it, or would I rather watch the Eagles documentary again just so I can shit on it for 4 hours? I'd probably choose the latter because I'm terrible. So I'm glad that young people, better people, are doing this. So.
You've watched the Eagles documentary more than once.
Of course.
Yeah.
But then it's like
I mean, once was enough for me. How long was that thing? 4 hours, 5 hours?
If you hate the Eagles as much as me, oh.
No, I started out. I've said this before. I was younger than my sister, so I had to deal with her records. I didn't have. She was the first one to bring records into the house, and of course, we had the Eagles' greatest hits, and that was among my first albums that I listened to, and of course, I wore that thing out. I was playing it like crazy. I have some nostalgic Eagles connection there. I don't put them on a lot, but
I should do a marathon with that documentary and the Metallica one, and just see which one gives me more Sharfennude, good Sharfennude. I hate all of it vibes. But I see what a shit person I am. I pivot from these wonderful young people just being a ray of shining light of positivity and goodness, and within a minute I've turned it to, boy, don't I love shitting on bands that I don't like to listen to anyway. Maybe that'll be something in the holiday season we work through.
Well, I think this is a good segue for our Death in the News segment.
Oh, right on time.
Speaking of music.
Yeah, we lost a big one.
And we lost a big one. You have to show the back. All these record geeks, right? They got to show the back.
It looks like it's still in the cellophane. All right, we're on radio, Mike. Let's tell the people what we're looking at.
This is the Rum Sodomy and the Lash by the Pogues. I think this was the first Pogues album I got. This is a import, I believe. Yeah, Stiff Records. Couldn't find it for a while. I think this was a Bleecker Bob's purchase. And of course, this is the peak, right?
That's definitely the peak.
These two records. And, as much as I love this music and I'm sad that he passed away, we lost him 20 years ago. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean the last thing. I mean, I love that solo record of his.
Yeah, this is the first one, and yeah, even the
Or is
second
it
one.
solo, or was it the one with the snakes? I call that a solo one.
Yeah, yeah, with Nancy Whiskey on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. But yeah, that's a good way to put it. We kind of lost him 20 years ago.
it's
So.
a small window of greatness. I wish we could have had 20 years of greatness before he passed.
What would you say other than that album I just mentioned for the rest of his run with the Pogues, which didn't last that much longer than after like after Fairy Tale in New York and Fall from Grace of God? How much greatness do you think he really had in there those last two
Well,
albums?
there wasn't that much. I was actually doing I was reading up about it, and it was a struggle within the band. Where other band members had to step up, and they were writing songs and so on
Mm-hmm.
because it was already slipping away. Um, I saw them in I think I saw them in 88, 87, 88,
Mm-hmm.
which is, yeah, that was their prime period. Unfortunately, I saw them at Roseland, which was, I never liked that venue. I saw a few shows there, and the sound always was shitty there. But years later, I would see them. Did you go to any of those Guinness Flaw shows
No,
on
no.
Randall's
Just
Island?
starting, I think, when I got there.
Yeah. So I went 2 years in a row to that. He was on the bill, and both times like a fool. Well, the second time, well, I guess it's the second time. Shame on me, right? Is
Yeah.
that how the saying goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Fool
the
me once,
first.
shame on me. You, shame. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, something like that.
No,
Anyway,
that's
so
what it is. Don't something like that, me.
so anyway, the first time I'm all pumped up. Oh, this is going to be great. Huge crowd. I mean, it was but of course, huge crowd in the middle of the afternoon, and he's still going to make us wait. So we're standing in his crowd. He's supposed to start at 4 o'clock, whatever. He doesn't arrive until 5 o'clock. I don't know. We were standing there a long time,
Mhm.
and people were getting a little surly. And then he hits the stage, and he could barely stand. It was like, this is sad. This is not good. And I'm even looking around, and for some people, I think this was what they wanted. I think there was a part of that Pogues audience that
Yeah.
reveled in just the drunkenness of Shane MacGowan. I mean, to me, it was sad. So that was a bizarre. I didn't even stay for the whole thing. I walked away. I was like, wow, I waited for this, and like I said, it was a horrible performance. And then, but sure enough, next year, there I am, waiting,
Yeah.
waiting for Shane MacGowan. And I think he may have been in worse condition the second time.
Wow.
And so I walked away. Two disappointing performances. I think the best time I saw him was you were at the Roseland show. I mean, yeah, it was a Roseland show with on St. Patrick's Day.
I didn't go to that.
Oh, you didn't go to that?
No, I was babysitting.
Ah, wow.
I know our friend did and got kicked out, which was a miracle.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Shane MacGowan was in a wheelchair for that performance
I
because I
remember.
think
Yeah.
I think he fell the night before. So I don't know
think
if
I saw him on the same tour because I think he was in a wheelchair. Can't remember now. But I remember the one show I have two shows, but one I actually went to. Same old story. The band is cranking "Fall from Grace from God." Everybody's waiting. We can't. And then Shane comes out, and the band looks at him and is like, "Oh fuck, great."
where was that performance?
Shit, I can't remember. I'm terrible at remembering names. I can picture it, but
But I think,
and it's
but
like that just sucked the life out of the whole room. Like, okay, then for the next hour, we just watched him wander on and off stage, while the band was like, "Well, I guess we're still getting paid." So
yeah, no, it's sad. I mean, but I think that the last time I saw him was when he was in the wheelchair, and I think it focused him for some reason, or maybe he couldn't, he was immobilized, so he couldn't sneak off to get
Yeah.
gets loaded. So that actually wasn't a bad performance. I thought his singing was pretty good that night.
Hmm.
So yeah, the final memory was a decent one, but bittersweet because the next 20 years were not good. And
Hmm.
I didn't realize how old was he? He was 68, I think. 60. He's not that much older than me. And I'm like, oh Christ. You know,
65? I think
was it
65.
65? Yeah, not even 68, right? 65. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a couple
But it
years
looked
old.
like you saw those pictures coming in every day of him in the bed,
Oh
hospital.
yeah. No,
It's one of those things where either he's gonna die now
mhm,
or he's just gonna last coach for like another 40 years.
mhm.
Because like just
No,
like
I mean,
specimen of human tissue, but
did you ever get the impression that he had stopped drinking? I didn't get that impression.
unlike you, I don't do impressions. Uh
Uh,
no, I never got that impression at all. No.
so whenever I saw him, I'm like, okay, you could see the deterioration. I didn't think he would go much longer because yeah, he had a couple hospital stays and so on.
Yeah, you
Great,
think
great,
eventually age
great
gets.
talent. No doubt. You know, but also kind of squandered, which
But
is
that, yeah, squandered.
mhm,
But and that crappy show kept me from that shitty show I sat through.
mhm.
Prompted probably my biggest regret. One of my biggest music regrets is I had a ticket. Opa had tickets for us to go see him around Christmas year in 2000.
Mhm.
I guess it was at Irving Plaza because I was at that bar next to it,
Yeah.
the one where I tried to show up without a shirt on that night, and I was just like, fuck, I just blew it off. I was like, I'm not going. There's not gonna be a show. I'm not going. I'm gonna sit here, have a few Guinnesses. I was reading Patty's Lament,
Mhm.
great book, and I blew it off. And of course, it was the night Kirsten McCall got up. They did Farewell of Fairy Tale New York, and it was the last time she ever sang in public before getting killed a couple weeks later.
Wow. Yeah.
So that sucks. But yeah, I was like, I'm not fucking going. He's just gonna show up and fall off the stage, and it's
Mhm.
gonna be a waste of time. So that's a regret.
And then with the smartphone era, I mean, I think there were viral videos of him vomiting on stage. Yeah, so it's a nightmare. But you
Are
mentioned,
we are we ready to say, and it's not fair because he's newly dead.
mhm.
Is it okay to say, to wonder, is he a little overrated?
Well, when you consider the output, we just went through it. It's a handful of records, you know.
A handful of records. I mean, he gets a lot of credit, for writing music, but he didn't play an instrument. But it's saying,
Mhm.
okay.
Right.
He co-wrote Fairy Tale in New York.
Mhm.
Uh, there was a great article a couple of years ago. Maybe I'll find it. I'll put it on my list of things I'm going to say I'm going to do this week, but not do. Uh, like in the video, he's playing piano, and of course he didn't play it on the record. But so in the video, the guy that did play it on the piano is like standing there with a maraca or something. He's like,
Oh, really?
"Why do I?" He gets all the fucking glory. Like I played the piano on the fucking
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
So and like he didn't, Dirty Old Town. He didn't write
Right.
that. That was
Mhm.
a huge. But, I'm not saying it, but I'm wondering if it's okay to get that in the discussion. Maybe he's a little overrated.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's a close call. I'll say.
Like if you dropped in out of the sky right now and just listened to his output
Mhm,
and judge without the years of like the drama and
mhm,
we all love the Pogues and
mhm.
we're all Irish and drunk and da da da.
Yeah.
Just the work itself, I think it's fair to wonder if he was a little overrated.
I think he got overwhelmed by the lifestyle of the fans who followed the band, right? So they became a drinking band. It's like we're all drinking, we're all drunk together, we're having a good time. Sort of like the drunken version of the Grateful Dead, where they were doing other things. But yeah, it was a lifestyle for some people, I think. And yeah, and they wanted to keep that party going, right? You got to keep that party going your whole life.
Yeah.
Well, didn't work out so great for Shane, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care
Sad.
about his drinking. I'm not judging it.
Mm,
But when you look at his body of work, might be a smidge overrated.
mm.
That's all.
And I did notice that
But
I
I
like
say that, but I was horrendously sad when he died, and I do love the stuff I love, and
mhm,
he is a, even as I'm saying this, I'm also saying no matter what, he is still a bit of a national treasure, no matter where you are. There's
mhm,
something about him that is a bit of a human treasure. So
mhm.
I don't want to seem like I'm shitting on him. I'm just asking in terms of pure musical output. We'll see. And plus, I get a lot of shit because always loved the album that came out after him, Waiting for Herb or whatever. It's a great album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Whenever I say that, people want to give me shit, but I'm like, yeah, sorry.
Well, they had other good musicians in the band, obviously, yeah. And yeah, they had to, if they wanted to continue, they had to carry it on themselves. So they did for a little while anyway.
You just
Well,
worry that at some point this guy became a cartoon that people liked. People liked the cartoon.
right, yeah, they were sort of living through him without acknowledging that this is not good for the man's health. And now here we are. I did notice that Fairy Tale of New York, which it's controversial because of the inclusion of the word,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which
I
you
know.
know I get it, but they're characters in the song. It's not the singers using that word, and it's like people can't seem to allow that characters in a song can be offensive. They can
Yeah,
use offensive language.
they're not angels. There
It's
weren't
it's
angels
it's
in the
it's
song.
not a personal message from the singer to the audience. But you know, I guess there's a dub version. I couldn't hear it. It came back on the jukebox at my local establishment. So I
Mhm.
did a little Shane McGowan tribute last week, and I
Mhm.
was able to play that song. I didn't have to play the Jovi version.
Wow.
So, but I guess I'm
Well,
sure
shit
there's
on Jersey.
I'm sure there probably was a little bit of a windfall after he passed away.
Did he do a version? I didn't even know that. Bon Jovi did a version of Fairy Tale in New York.
Oh, you never heard that?
Oh man.
Put that on your list.
Come
Do a
on.
reaction video for that. Okay, that's
I
even
don't
better. That's
I don't
even
want to
better.
shit on Bon Jovi. I don't, it's like just I don't make, come on, why would he do that? It's like, come on, have a
Yeah,
little
you got
self-awareness.
two reaction videos now waiting for you. I want to see that one as well. That one is something to that is some cover.
Maybe it's incredible.
I assure you it is not. But anyway, rest in peace, Shane McGowan.
It will be missed.
Other
Yeah, but
musicians.
but you're right. I didn't even think of that. It was pretty much out gone for 20 years. So
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's sad. It's a sad story.
right.
I think he had a bright moment, um, and his songs will live on. They're great songs,
Yeah.
but
And those songs, well, the few songs that he had that we treasure, those do have a particular thing about them, especially once you have a Christmas classic in your pocket.
mhm.
Yeah, those will live forever. So
He's got Christmas classics and he's got St. Patrick's Day classics. So
yeah,
as long as those
we write our Labor Day classic.
as, as long as those holidays are still with us,
Yeah,
his music will be played.
it'd be interesting to see if it goes to number one again up in Britain, because they have a thing about pushing certain songs to number one over Christmas. And the timing of this is way too, it's like, come on, you better make this number one on the,
Yeah, like I said,
whatever the charts mean today.
yeah. Oh, here's the other weird thing, right? So that happens, and then I watched a movie. It's called Cow by one of my favorite directors, who I'm blanking out on now. But it's on Mubi. It's a documentary, and it's basically about
Director Seymour Butts.
no. Let me get it now. It's annoying me. Um,
This director, Peter North.
Now it's Andrea Arnold, a British director. The movie is Cow. It came out a couple years ago. It's currently on Mubi. Um, so yeah, it's a documentary, literally, where they follow this one cow in a dairy farm. It's a dairy farm, and so you see the routine at the farm where all the cows are sort of ushered in to where they're milked, and it's a big open area, and they've got, I don't, I'm not sure of this, but it seemed like at this farm they had music piped in to this big area,
Mhm.
and so there's different music playing when the cows go in to get milked. And sure enough, towards the end of the film, it's around Christmas, and there's good old fairy tale of New York playing in the background for the cows. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is a little coincidental, having passed away 2 days before I'm watching this movie. But it was an interesting movie. Um, Sad at the end, also. Warning,
Wait, you didn't
but
say it was a like beef farm, like a
no, it's not a beef farm, but I guess there's, I mean, we see this cow literally birth two calves. I mean, I don't know the exact time frame. It's not just like filmed in one year. It's filmed over time, and so you're coming in and you don't know exactly how long. It's not saying 5 months later, a year later, or anything like that. So you're just getting these glimpses at different times. But sooner or later, I guess the cows are no longer able to provide the milk to make them profitable or whatever. It's not explained. There's no narration in this film. It's literally, I mean, you see the workers in the background, and they're having conversations, but they never speak directly to the camera. It's an interesting concept the way they did it, but yeah, kind of sad at the end. Just
would
put
getting
that.
to know a cow or a pig make you stop wanting to eat meat?
Well, you can go either way. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's, I don't know if you'd say a soul. They're living beings. So all living beings have value as far as I'm concerned. Um, the animals are treated well. You could argue, well, the barns are kind of messy and stuff. Well, that's a barn. I mean, they're animals. They're not uh,
You hear
sweeping.
horror stories about chickens, though. What they do with the chickens?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not trying to defend all. It is
Big
what it
farm.
is. It is what it is, and if you want
Yeah.
to decide whether you don't want to eat meat or chickens or whatever, that's your choice. Yeah.
But if for Christmas this year I give you a little baby cow, you name it.
All right, that was your symbol, right? You still got that little cow?
Office cow? Of course I do.
Yeah, office cow, you call it? Yeah.
He's at my desk.
Uh-huh.
I am at my office.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Mike, this is you get to name him. You name him Timmy. Everywhere Mike goes, Timmy goes. You guys watch the games together.
Uh-huh.
Timmy throws his chips when the Jets are on the TV too. You guys become buddies. You're up late at night. Do you have the same? Do you dream about what I dream? Blah 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 blah. Getting to know that close to Timmy,
Uh-huh.
little Timmy. Are you gonna be okay getting bringing home the old Big Mac?
I don't know. I mean, you definitely think about these things. I mean, I do still drink milk, so it's like, yeah, you think about it.
Well, milk, at least you can, like cheese, you can be fooled into believing, well, they're not killing them for this. They just take it from them
Mhm.
while they're alive. And we
Right.
have this fantasy that when all the milk's gone, they go to the nice cow farm upstate, where there's cable TV and
Yeah. Well, yeah,
cool.
that's not the way this
Yeah.
poor cow goes out. It is a
Or
rather callous, I guess they make a financial decision, you
Mhm.
know. The one thing I was sort of a little shocking. was how big a cow's udders can get.
Mhm.
I mean, you always see photos of cows. I'm thinking of Adam Hart Mother, the Pink Floyd album. And, you know, you see just cartoons or whatever. The udder seems to be portrayed as just kind of like, fitting in there. But this cow in this movie, this udder is like almost practically dragging on the ground. I mean, it's enormous. I don't know if that's becomes part of the reason that they have to put the cow down. Again, it's not any narration. That would have been helpful. I would have liked to heard from the people who are dealing with the cows. I mean, there's some nice moments too, where the cows are let out into a field and they spend the night out there under the stars. That's kind of a nice little moment. They're not in these, attached to these machines 24/7. So they do try to be humane to the animals. I mean, it is their livelihood.
Mhm.
So it's like in their interest to keep them as happy and healthy as possible. I mean, they mate the cows. I mean, that isn't particularly romantic. They basically put the cow in this little enclosed area with a bull, and before you know it, they're at it. And yeah, and they, like I say, this cow gives birth twice in the film.
You
That
worried is usually there's romance with the cow?
no, no. I'm just saying,
I gotta be honest.
don't get your hopes up high if
The
you
way my year's gone, I don't know if I'd be upset if somebody just put me in a stall
yeah.
with another woman, but I was gonna make a joke about
No,
adding.
yeah, maybe we
I
don't
had a
do that.
girlfriend with udders like that, but this is
Yeah.
a family. I don't want to.
Uh-huh.
So, all
I
right,
want to
Kat.
pay tribute to another musician who passed away,
Ah,
Scott Kempner. Did you hear about that?
what about that?
Yeah, he was in the Dictators, the Del Lords. This is what's the name of this record? Frontier Days. I really like this record.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's sad when you see these, and it's just going to keep happening more now, right? I mean, we've reached the age where all musicians and stuff that we liked uh, are getting older, and it's
Yeah, there's
happening.
more. There's more and more celebrities, so there's more of them to die as well. So, like Norman Lear today. How about that?
Yeah, no, I got him on my list. I wanted to get to for you in particular, and also Denny Lane from Wings.
Hmm.
Were you a particular fan of that big song they had about Scotland?
No, nobody cares less about wings than me. I made a joke.
That's weird. Okay, all right.
I tweeted it. I can never get part of my thing with Denny Lane is I was like nobody else is hung up on the fact that how close his name is to Penny Lane.
Right.
Is that why he's in the band? Uh,
Well,
so
he
I
was
mean,
in the Moody Blues, and he sort of established himself there first, I believe.
I've never seen him to be even remotely happy during his whole time in Wings. He
Oh,
just
really?
to me he always seemed like I could be doing something better. It's like, well, all right, well, stop taking the checks. I'm sure you're getting,
Uh-huh.
but I
Yeah, I
guess
didn't know that
because he
song.
died on the 50th anniversary of the not Born to Run, Band on the Run. So
Uh,
little tribute
Mull
there.
of Kintyre, Tyre,
Olive Kintyre, yeah.
Mull of Kintyre. So that, of course, led me to a little
It became the biggest
research,
selling single ever until Feed the World.
and
She loves you.
apparently that's a tribute to, I guess, Paul McCartney. I guess does he still own this farm on
Uh,
on Kintyre?
I think he still owns a bunch of Scottish farms out and about. I don't
Yeah.
know which ones. Yeah, that took over. She loves you for number one selling song of all time. So
Uh-huh.
it's it's fine. It's like I've never once listened to it on purpose.
Hmm.
Like fine, but
Well, it's probably one of those songs that's just huge in the UK and gets played a lot, particularly in Scotland.
I wonder if it bugs McCartney that he had to share credit for that with Danny Lane. It's like the biggest song ever. And here's a guy that's written a million hits, and the one that's the biggest one, he has to share credit with Danny Lane.
That is his biggest song, really?
At the time, it was the biggest selling single in British history.
Wow.
So, I mean, at least what's a bigger song since?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know about this song.
Well, crack a book open and learn something, Mike. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not watching the British charts.
It was the biggest. She Loves You reigned as the biggest. I assume this is just in the UK, but biggest selling single of all time. Then it was Mull of Kintyre. Then, but that got taken over by Do They Know It's Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
And I don't think he's had a bigger song since. It'd be hard to, just in terms of how they sell records now.
I mean, I would have thought stuff from Band on the Run was bigger, but maybe there was just bigger songs going at the time, so he never made it to the top.
Yeah, I mean, all those songs you're talking about have probably started 5 million. So but yeah, it's fine.
So, do you want to pay tribute to Norman Lear? I know he was a personal hero of yours.
Well, yes. I mean, I saw it going around today, greatest American ever. And I kind of like, oh, that's funny. That's cute. But then again, I started thinking, you know what? Maybe he is. Because the shit he did in terms of putting a mirror in front of society, putting a spotlight on society, putting a spotlight on the mirror society, as well as being legitimately funny for so long, so many variations. You want the, older white couple in Queens, you got it. You want the black family in the projects, you got it. You want the old lady going through menopause, you got it. You want the upper mobility black family, you got it. And on and on and on and on. Just remarkable. The last year or two, I did a beginning to end run of All in the Family. It's funny day one, it's funny day end. I don't what am I going to say about Norman Lear that it's just incredible. Even till the end, he had worked on that reboot of One Day at a Time. He was always doing he did a couple of those live versions of episodes with Jimmy.
All right, yeah.
That were really great, except for Woody Harrelson's terrible Archie accent.
Yeah, I saw interviews recently, and he was pretty spry. What was he? 101?
101.
101.
Very spry.
Yeah.
Flew on bombers in World War II. I don't know what. Even just for All in the Family, which I put above all of the others of his, and almost pretty much every sitcom. Even just for that, he deserves whatever.
Yeah, no, that was a groundbreaking show, obviously, but I that show almost overshadows Mary Hartman. I guess that was his first really.
It should overshadow it because that's pretty terrible.
No, that show is great. I mean, I haven't rewatched it since then. I mean, I was pretty young. I mean, that came out in the mid-70s, right?
I have a vague memory of in the summer we used to watch Welcome Back, Kotter would come on in the middle of the day. Then Mary Hartman. And I never got past more than 3 minutes of Mary Hartman. Now I'm talking about, I'm like 10 or 11. And it was set up like
you're younger than me. Yeah. And
if you tell me I should go do so I've never taken it seriously. If you tell me I should go do a little Mary Hartman rewatch, I'll do it.
I might do it with you because, like I said, I haven't seen it since it was running. But I remember, I was a kid, and I'm sure
it's a great concept, like the daily soap opera, funny.
Yeah. And of course, we're introduced to Fred Willard on that show, Martin Mull. They're great on that show. And of course, I was looking at some research on the show, and I saw that it was a sad story about one of the actresses, Deborah Lee Scott. Do you know that name? She was on Welcome Back, Kotter, I believe.
Was she Hotsy Totsy?
Yeah, I don't remember those characters' names. She's Irish looking, red hair. She was in American Graffiti. She was in some big movies.
I think that's Hotsy
Yeah,
Totsy.
okay. She was Hotsy Totsy.
Don't act like a man of your generation doesn't know who Hotsy Totsy is.
I
Didn't
I
didn't have
I don't
many a
remember
night
all the
thinking about Hotsy
characters.
Totsy. Come on, Mike.
I don't remember all the characters' names.
You're with friends here, buddy. Come
I
on
did
now.
watch that show, but anyway. But anyway, so I'm reading up about the actress, and sure enough, there was she died when she was 52 in 2005. She had married a Port Authority police officer, and he died on 9/11.
Mhm.
And apparently that was kind of the end of her, and she went into decline, and she was only 52 when she passed away. So,
Any
yeah,
dead
it's
baby, any dead babies or puppies we can get to tonight for the show? Any?
I'm just saying, I don't look for these things. It just sort of it's unavoidable, I would say.
That tsunami back in 2005 was something, wasn't it?
But so
But
yeah, Mary.
so I never took Mary Hartman seriously.
Yeah, well, I think you should. Maybe we I don't know where it's playing, if it's streaming anywhere.
All right,
I would think maybe it's someplace out there
it's
in the ether.
streaming. I'll pop it up.
Yeah.
But I thought you were going to say On the Family overshadows all of the spinoffs and whatever, and it does, and it should because it's the best.
Well, it was the breakthrough, and yeah, and then everything he touched was gold after that. I mean, I watched all those shows, Good Times and The Jeffersons, and I didn't watch that last thing, Archie Bunker's Place. Did you watch that?
No. I've seen some of it. It kind of flows into it.
Uh-huh.
Like that's a weird ending, and then it just kind of becomes Archie Bunker's Place.
And is he the only one left in the show? I mean,
yeah. Edith dies.
Edith dies, and yeah, okay.
Meathead went out to California.
Glorious.
Maybe this is a good week. Next week's a good week to get Rob Reiner on the show. Finally.
Okay, well,
talk about how
I'm waiting. Just
he wouldn't accept their offer last time. Maybe he'll want to come on and talk about normally.
We seem to be talking about him every week lately with the
JFK
Albert Brooks documentary, the JFK podcast. I mean, can we give the guy more shout outs?
A lot of Rob Reiner. Well, some of our shout outs with him are challenging him to a fist fight, but but I you might say Norman Lear is underappreciated, certainly by the general public, for what he did or tried to do.
Yeah, if you weren't there when it happened, you've got to sort of take it in secondhand. I mean, you were watching them in repeats, right? I mean, you were too young. You didn't watch them week to week. I was watching it week to week, and it was, you were like, what's going to happen this week? It was just like you had to be there Saturday night. That whole lineup, I just remember, it was All in the Family. Then I believe it was Mary Tyler Moore. Then it was the Bob Newhart show, one after the other. So
wow.
yeah, that was the lineup for Saturday night on CBS. So yeah, that was an important day for me, watching glued to the TV. I love those shows.
Would you put Archie? I've always put Archie Bunker as the #1 TV character of all time.
I don't know. I guess he's controversial. I mean, he's controversial then. I think is he more controversial now?
Now he'd be canceled. Forget it. He wouldn't even be controversial.
Right.
It wouldn't happen now.
Right.
But you live in the time you live in. You live in the universe you live in. I've never. He's the only character I put above George Costanza in terms of just pure funny.
Yeah, he's got to be top 10 TV character of all time. Yeah, definitely.
You have a favorite in mind, or
no? I mean, you're just throwing this out there. I mean, he was huge.
Because like that show, the thing about that show is, other than Dingbat being Dingbat, nobody else is really funny except him. He does all the comedy. Whereas Mary Tyler Moore, what's remarkable about that is, I'm coming at the end of a run where I'm watching that whole series. Yes, ladies, I am single. Why do you ask? That's another one that's kept up. There's been no dip in quality. And the difference between those two shows is everybody, Mary Tyler Moore show is funny. All the characters are funny. Whereas in All in the Family, you watch because of Archie.
No, Mary
And that's
Tyler Moore.
Norman Lear, according to Norman Lear, Archie Bunker was his dad. He grew up with that.
Yeah.
Talking like that.
Well, yeah, you could tell he was close to it. So yeah, I wasn't aware of that, but
I tried. I know what your next question is going to be. Me being Mr. Britcom, I tried to watch the original British version, and it's unless you can't watch it without subtitles. So
okay, all right, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it was inspired by a British show. Yeah,
yeah. Till death us do part.
Mhm.
He bought the rights to that, and then but yeah, I've never been able to get through a minute of that because it's unlistenable.
Wow.
Same thing with Steptoe and Son, which became Sanford and Son. Like I don't care how much British TV you watch, you're not understanding a word they're saying. So, but R.I.P. Norman Lear, who incredibly is probably underrated and overlooked a little bit in this world, and he should not be. I laughed, I chuckled at the idea of him being the greatest American. But when I think about it, I'm not laughing. So,
who said he was the greatest American? Who said that?
Some dumb fuck. No, I saw it pop up some headlines or
All
something.
right, yeah, no. They just wanted some clicks, as they said.
I mean, is he Abraham Lincoln? No, but all right, he's number two. It's Lincoln, Mike Lesk, Norman Lear. What do you think of that?
Well, that's very flattering.
And Larry Bird. That's
Larry
it.
Bird.
That's the list of great Americans.
Larry Bird.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
It's his birthday tomorrow. Maybe if you gave a damn.
Is it? Okay. No, I'm celebrating the 20th anniversary of Elf. I still haven't watched that movie, so it's another year under my belt not
I
seeing Elf.
haven't either. I haven't watched it either. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, apparently
I haven't purposely not watched it.
No, I haven't purposely not watched it. I guess I've seen little bits and pieces of it, but I have not watched it from beginning to end. I came across a story, food in the news, that some restaurant is I guess there's a thing called elf spaghetti in the movie, and it's it's sugar-coated spaghetti, vanilla ice cream, chocolate sauce, marshmallows, M&Ms, crunchy wafers, and maple syrup, which sounds like a disgusting
Top of spaghetti?
mess. Sugar-coated spaghetti.
That sounds pretty good, actually. I'm thinking about it. I might try that. Is
You
it hot spaghetti
try.
or cold spaghetti?
It doesn't say, I just don't know what that concept is of how do you get sugar-coated spaghetti? I mean, can you buy sugar-coated spaghetti, or is this something you have to make it yourself?
I think if you're making all that monstrosity, you don't mind going the extra step with sugaring the pasta yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'll see if I watch that movie. I've
never watched it. People are more still upset about me never watching Fletch. So,
I heard about that Fletch movie for many years. I was late to Fletch. I guess people love Fletch.
Every dude my age love to quote, "It's all ball bearings" or whatever the fucking thing is.
Kevin Smith was a huge fan of that movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, that movie inspired him to get into film. So
I don't want to blame Fletch for that. No, that's not fair.
It's all on Fletch. I mean, I did read the book. I guess it's a highly regarded crime book or whatever. It was okay. It's not Raymond Chandler. It's not Dashiell Hammett. So I don't know what everybody's so excited about Fletch for.
Yeah, everybody gets upset when I say I haven't seen Fletch. So. Sorry.
I saw you paying tribute to Allison Steadman.
Yes.
What show is that? I guess you're watching this now, or?
It's called Here We Go. It's got her. It's got Katherine Parkinson, which a lot of people may know from the IT crowd,
Mhm.
Tom Basden, who rubes like you. I won't even try to explain who he is. She is just so. You saw that clip? I think I've
Yeah.
put.
What's the name of the show again?
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay. I thought
Uh,
you were just getting enthusiastic about talking about it.
I am. She is. I mean, I fell in love with her in Gavin and Stacey. You probably know her from Mike Lee.
Yeah, I was just gonna say now,
You probably didn't know
and
I
you're
know
gonna
that.
tell
You
and you're
probably
gonna
thought I
tell
didn't
me
know who Mike Lee was. You probably didn't think I knew that.
no, but now let answer this question: have you seen any of her movies with Mike Lee?
No,
No.
of course not.
What are you waiting for?
What movies?
Write them down.
All right.
Start with Abigail's Party. Unbelievable. It was like a British TV movie. So
I have seen that
oh, you have seen that.
because of
Okay.
her. Yes.
All right. Nuts in
And the
May.
other actress in that went on. She was in another show I liked much later, but
Nuts in May. Do you know that one?
uh,
That was
not
also a BBC TV movie, I believe.
all right.
But
Not so much.
then she's in two of Mike Lee's best movies, Life is Sweet and Secrets and Lies.
All right.
No, it's only three movies you
I'm
can
gonna write that down.
squeeze in there.
Well, have you watched Gavin and Stacey?
No, I don't watch because TV. I'll look at it now that she's in it. Yeah, I'm curious because
Everything
I think
she
she's great.
says is hysterical.
Yeah, no, she's great. I'm glad she's still acting. I thought she was kind of done with that, but I'm
She's
glad.
perfect in this role as like the grandmother who, I'm not saying she doesn't give a shit, but she just kind of says whatever.
Yeah.
And she is just everything Allison Stedman says is hysterical. I'm in love with her.
Uh-huh.
If she called me up right now and said, let's get hitched, I would get hitched. Here we go.
I try to. I know you're not well.
You don't know me, Mike.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
No,
speak.
you surprised me. No, I don't. I don't know everything about you. Yeah, you're right.
Just today, let me tell you this. You'll like this. I had to defend myself. Guy at work, buddy of mine here at work. Let's give him a shout out. Finnegan. He's not going to listen to this shit. He's not listening to this.
Uh-huh.
Tried to call me a Clapton fan.
Uh-huh.
I was, and we talk music all the time.
Yeah.
Would you think I'm a Clapton fan?
No.
Thank you.
I never.
I had to
never
set
picked
him straight.
How did he assume that?
I don't know, because I'm an old white motherfucker. Like, I don't know. I had him back on his heels right away. I was like, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
I've hated Clapton longer than you've been alive. So a little respect.
He's spotty at best. I mean,
he should have been. I made the brilliant point with him. The problem with Clapton is, you know how like when an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator in football is great, and so he thinks, oh, I guess I'll be head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a terrible head coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Clapton should have just been a studio musician. Great. But no, he's got to do his thing. We have to hear his shitty songs for the rest of our lives. No, he should have just go in, pay Eric Clapton $1 million. He'll play on your fucking song or whatever. That's what he should have done.
Well, that first Derek and the Dominoes album is pretty good.
I knew you'd take his side. I knew.
Like I said, no, I think he's spotty at best. I mean, I did see him. I saw him. I'm going back to like the late 70s, and I saw him in Philadelphia with Muddy Waters. But believe it or not, Muddy Waters open for Eric Clapton.
Yeah, I do believe that because that's
But what was most memorable to me about that show is that I went with my younger brother, and he went off. One of my friends had a policy where he never sat in the seats that his tickets were for. He was always roaming to get to the front of the stage. He was, and somehow
hell of a policy.
He broke away, and my younger brother was with him, and I'm like, oh God, yeah. I was leery about bringing my younger brother. I mean, I think I must have been about 17, so 17 or 18. So my younger brother's like 15. And I'm like worrying about him through the whole show. Like, fortunately, there was no problems, but I mean, it was just, I remember I went into
Other
a
than
bit of
having
a,
to listen to Clapton.
I was in a bit of a panic for most of that show. And then I saw Eric Clapton. He played with one of my friends who's a big Pink Floyd fan. And then he hooked up with Roger Waters on one of his solo things. And every time I saw Clapton, I never saw the fireworks. You know, I mean, he's technically, you know, everybody's like, you know, fawning over his guitar skills and so on. And you know, you think seeing him, you know, he'd unleash the fireworks, but it was always like, it felt like laid back, very precise. Yeah.
You look wonderful
But
tonight.
I never saw the fireworks live. I think the only album, I guess there was a documentary that came out with it. That blues record he did, From the Cradle, is that the name of that one?
I don't know.
But anyway, they did like a, you know, I guess PBS or something. They did a documentary, and yeah, he went nuts in that thing, and it's great. You know, it's like, oh, okay. I never saw that when I saw him. You know, I guess he saves the fireworks for you know, special times.
Yeah. Anyway, I forget I cut you off, but
No,
yeah,
that's all
I
right.
was insulted. Somebody would assume I'm a Clapton fan. Anyway, sorry.
No, but what was I talking about? I think I was going to bring up, you know, I saw this thing pop up, BBC Sounds. You ever listen to that?
Oh, the Sounds podcast?
Yeah, and Iggy Pop. Well, I guess
Yeah.
is it a
Sometimes.
radio? It may be a radio station.
Yeah.
In the UK. And Iggy Pop has a show, and he was having Tom Waits on as a guest. I'm like, oh, this will be interesting, you know. And it was sort of a big letdown because they just play a song. They go back and forth with a song each. They talk about the song, and they never talked about any of, you know, like behind the scenes, on the road, personal stories. They just kind of stuck to the format, which was kind of disappointing. Zero interest from you, right?
Zero. Maybe less.
Not a Ziggy Pop fan? I mean, Iggy Pop fan?
I mean, I love the Stooges. He's got a handful of solo stuff I like. It's like whatever. I mean, he's another one. I can only get so excited about guys who don't play instruments. Like,
and you actively hate Tom Waits, right?
No, I don't hate Tom Waits.
Oh, you don't? Wow. Okay.
I have more Tom Waits songs I like than I do Tom Petty.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's a shocker.
Now most of them are off Rain Dogs, so I guess I like Rain Dogs.
Yeah, Rain Dogs is probably
his first album. I'm not a connoisseur Tom Waits, but I like more of his stuff than you'd probably think. Oh, boy, everybody's assuming everything today about me. I love Clapton, hate Tom Waits.
Well, you're hot and cold, and it's hard to figure out where you're gonna.
Me?
Yeah, where you're gonna swing into, you know. I mean, you know, everybody puts Tom Waits down. They feel like it's a put on, you know, with the voice and everything. But I mean, he kind of does have a gravelly voice. I mean, it's kind of.
Well, the thing is, like, most of his stuff, I'm like, whatever. But the stuff I like, I love. So, like, when he hits it, he hits it. But yeah, I don't need to hear an hour and a half of it either. So,
I saw him live one time. It was very entertaining, you know. I saw him at the Beacon Theater.
Like, he's the type where, like, the songs of his I do like, I'm like, God damn, I wish I'd written that. Like, that's fucking perfect.
And he's very funny too. I mean,
and he's funny. You're right.
Yeah. He, you know, there was some funny banter between the songs. I mean, just a overall entertaining guy.
Yeah. The few times I've seen him interviewed or talking, whatever, he's very funny. So I like that. Plus, you ever watch Trees Lounge?
Yeah, I think somebody, whether you told me or somebody else was suggesting. I saw it years ago when it came out. I mean, I don't remember a whole lot about it.
There's a character that I swore was Tom Waits, like the first time I watched it. The older guy, he owns like a moving company or something.
Yeah,
It's always at the
I
bar.
can't remember any
Looks just
details.
like Tom Waits, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, the big announcement is we went back to Chinese takeout this week, and we're easing our way back.
Boy.
We're gonna go on a little soup journey.
This is definitely the tipping our toes back into Chinese food. I mean, you couldn't do it any lighter than
Well, I figured, we're all going to be eating junk all month, with the Christmas stuff, and
that's true.
let's just keep it light with the Chinese takeout. So yeah, the first item. Well, actually, you want to tell a little behind the scenes story? I thought that was very funny because I wanted to do a shrimp journey because there's all these shrimp dishes that I've been eyeing up, and I'm like, well, can Greg just
And what if I told you
do
9,000
something else?
times?
And yeah, well, tell me what you told me that
What
you
if
could just swap it out with chicken or pork, right?
Yeah. I
So
would
then
assume most of these dishes you can just swap out.
yeah. So then my response to that was the first dish I want to do is shrimp with lobster sauce.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I was
I
like,
thought it was good. I thought I cracked myself up with
that was
that
good.
one.
No,
Yeah.
you got an LOL. You got an LOL.
I got an LOL.
I mean, you got an LOL and a fuck this asshole. A couple of those too. But
No, you got it. I got an FFS.
FFS, yes.
So then we
so you
compromised.
chose shrimp noodle soup,
Shrimp noodle soup, yeah.
uh,
And you had the beef.
noodle soup with shrimp.
You had the beef noodle soup. We're here still.
Right.
I'm a little wobbly.
A little wobbly. Pull through.
Pull through. I'm pulling through. The internet gods.
Mm.
All right. Well, I think we're back.
We're back.
Okay. So you had the beef noodle soup.
Right.
In your opinion?
This was fucking terrible.
Oh.
I don't know if it's a. I don't know if I don't know if this is on all the noodle soup, but like number one, I got it. It was 9,000 degrees, so it took forever to cool down. But all I had was this little plastic spoon. In the there's the jug.
Yeah, the quart.
I couldn't if I was home, I'd have just dumped it on the bowl and like used hands and
you didn't
fork.
have access to a larger spoon.
Well, I'm in the middle of this cafeteria with people. I'm trying to work with a spoon and then a fork. And then when I finally got some little tastes on the lips, it didn't even taste good. I got a couple of bites. It was foul. Again, it looks like normally I'd like it because it's broth, noodles, and meat. But this was fucking terrible.
What did the beef look like? Like little chunks or?
Oh, I can't believe I didn't take a picture. It looked like little, always make fun of chicken, like little chicken fingers, little talons,
okay.
weird shapes. Look like
except beef, yeah.
Except beef, yeah. Okay. So I mean, it was fine. They were in that shape where you look like you look in a microscope and everything
worm-like, yeah.
Little worms. There you go.
Yeah, like little worms, beef worms.
Little beef worms. But the whole thing trying to manage it with this tiny plastic fork that was bending. But it just had a funk on it. It was just bad. Tell you what was great though. Take a guess.
You backed it up.
Fucking chicken nuggets right on time. Perfect. I was gonna take a picture, but I was literally got to the only one left before I decided. So once again.
No photo of your meal this week.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was like Piccadilly Circus downstairs. I was a little thrown off by all the people. But
well, I went with the shrimp soup noodle is how it's described in my brochure. I don't know if that's a typo, but
how's it say?
It was well. It says beef or shrimp soup noodle. I would reverse noodle and soup and make it beef.
Well, I'm sure they'd appreciate it
soup.
If Joe Q American walks in with some edits the menu. I'm sure they'd love that. Promise me you'll film that.
I'll do that next week.
Yeah.
But
I'm taking a red pen to your menu. Hope you don't mind.
But I'll say this: it was a hearty meal. I mean, I bought some backup stuff,
I
thinking
agree with you. The soup, it was like large.
substantial, lots of
I,
noodles.
I could have eaten it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was substantial though, so I
I
can't complain
mean,
about that.
yeah, mine was packed to the brim with the noodles.
Yeah,
There were like 3 shrimps laying right on top. I thought I might have to maneuver to get the shrimp to the top, but there they were. They're right there for the picture. And
at all? Just the three shrimps, right?
no, there was shrimp throughout. Yeah, I thought like, okay, they threw the shrimp. they
Right.
threw
Yeah.
they threw the 3 shrimp on top, and I'm not going to see another one. No, this thing was
Like my beef worms. They look so good. They were like, let's just put them on top, like a wedding cake.
no this. There was a lot of shrimp in there. It was well distributed because I thought I was done with the shrimp, and then like I'm down to the last quarter, and I'm still pulling up shrimp. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's impressive.
So
Good.
yeah, so I'm gonna give giving this soup, this is a good 8.0 as far as soup goes.
Maybe you don't ruin it with that restaurant with your menu edits, with your insulting menu edits.
No, but of course I went to the place with the good fried noodles, so I had the great fried noodles with it. So that was a meal, I mean, not a cheap meal. I mean, it was you had to get the quart size.
Mhm.
They don't give you the
Yeah,
smaller
this was
option.
almost like $16.
You are paying twice as much money. That you what you're paying is
Yeah.
absurd. So what
Now, to
so what
your
did you pay
point,
for the whole thing with the chicken nuggets? So
to your point, it would be 2 meals if
mhm,
it wasn't 0 meals.
uh-huh.
I think total with the nuggets it was like 28.
$28
Oh, and I got fries.
for
Oh, fries, nuggets, and the
soup.
soup is 28.
That's still too much. I
Yeah,
I I got the quart size soup. I got
I didn't really eat the fries, but
I got a shrimp roll, and I got a small house special fried rice, which I'll say I'm saving that for later on. I mean, the soup was filling enough.
I didn't eat the fries.
And
I just
that
felt
was
like
under 20. What I got was under 20.
when it's delivery, I feel like you got to up it a little bit to make it worth everybody's time. So I don't know.
No, I get that, but I mean, still, that's way too much.
I wouldn't be as miffed about it if I was able to enjoy the soup and eat it, and yeah, it would easily be a second meal.
Mhm.
But this is I'm not. I don't know. It's not fair to. I mean, I'll give it a 5. Like it should be better because it's meat, noodles, and broth. It should not be terrible. I think this place just sucked. Yet they crushed the nuggets. So
How
hopefully
much
China will call us before the new year to really sit down and talk about our chicken McNuggets thing with them. So China, we are listening.
how much soup did you throw away?
80-90% of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that always breaks my heart when you tell me that you threw this stuff out. Breaks my heart.
It's gonna be
Breaks.
all okay when I get that big fat check from payroll.
That big fat check is like not even going to put a dent in the money you've spent for this
Don't
stuff.
start backpedaling now. You told me this was gonna change my life.
I told you you get a good pair of sneakers. That's what I told you.
That's gonna change my life.
don't don't get your hopes up too high. You got your eye on a pair of sneakers.
No, I would not be
uh,
buying sneakers.
okay.
So,
Uh,
but you know what's? I wouldn't not try it again, just at a different place because I feel
mm,
like the dish itself should be right up my street.
yeah.
But it was a bad. But
So the noodles weren't even enough to keep you going because the noodles in mine was fantastic. I mean, they were the hearty noodles, and I
well,
could.
plus to be fair, I wasn't helped by. I got conscious because I was trying to eat it with just a little plastic spoon that was not up to the task.
Yeah, that's where you went
I
wrong.
started having to work with a fork, and then everybody's looking at me. So it
No,
wasn't.
I get that because
To be fair, it wasn't the best circumstances. So
yeah, I mean, I had a larger than usual spoon. I wasn't using one of those dinky plastic ones.
oh,
But
sorry. Message received.
maybe you should keep a spoon in your desk
Mhm.
just for such occasions. Um, I
Well,
mean,
the irony is, I'd have brought it back to my desk, but since I got the fries, I was like, well, I don't want to be walking around the office waving, fries around to bother everybody. And if I'd been at my desk, I'd have been less self-conscious about just trying to like hoover the shit into my mouth, as opposed to in the cafeteria setting.
uh-huh.
And in the end, I didn't even really eat the fries. So that's an O. Henry story waiting to be written.
Well, there is other good news in Egg Foo What Land. I posted the analytics for the year.
What did you say? The stats are good.
The analytics are good.
The analytics are good.
And this is just
State of the
Spotify,
Union. I've never listened. I never even remember we're on Spotify.
yeah, and actually, Spotify, I don't know if, yeah, I think it's a relatively new development. People can actually ask questions or leave comments.
Oh,
And
and
yeah, and nobody's left a comment on Spotify until after last week's episode, which of course elicited lots of responses with the universe wink segment.
From medical specialists, I would think. From disease control experts, I would think.
I'll say this, yeah, there were lots of suggestions, and I appreciate everybody commenting on last week's episode. I mean, we ended up breaking through for 2 more reviews on Apple. I don't know if you noticed those,
Oh,
but
I will
two
not.
more 5-star reviews after that particular episode. So it did seem to jar listeners. But yeah, I got the Spotify analytics, and our listeners are up 128%. Our streams are up 390%.
The analytics are good.
Follows up 152%.
Yeah, none of that means anything. I don't know.
Minutes
Unless we know the
minutes
original number.
created. Well, it's compared to last year.
Right.
We're in
But
our second year.
150% of 8 is,
well, that's it. That's why I'm just I'm gonna the stats look so good. I'm hoping people won't even realize that they were so low last year that it didn't take much to get up minutes created plus 184%. And of course, our number.
I had an interesting experience this weekend.
Uh-huh.
I love the fall. Fall is my season. Winter is coming. I love winter, but you're not going to be able to pop out and about as much. So I was like, I just wanted to spend some time people watching, which isn't something I normally do. I went to the Starbucks near me, and then I realized after a couple of cups of coffee, I had to do my business. Go to the bathroom, do my business. No toilet paper. I was, and so I'm there panicking. I don't know what to do. I remember what you did, and it's like, well, that's not happening. Guy knocked on the door. He pulled the door to see it's locked, and then he knocks to see if anybody's in there. I'm like, because the locked door could, and I said, hey, there's the toilet paper. Can you grab some toilet paper? And then I guess he just freaked out and skidded away. After a couple of minutes, I was presented with a solution. In the corner, there was this beautiful little puppy sitting there. Beautiful white shaggy hair puppy, just staring up at me with those eyes.
Yeah, no, okay. I see.
Beautiful.
I see. We're
happy to see me.
We're dipping into the realm of
we're like,
the fantastic.
He's happy to see
I
me.
get it. Okay. You're doing your thing.
And so then I was like, well, do I take care of my problem with this soft, furry?
That's animal cruelty. That's animal cruelty.
Very pleasing. To, soft.
I wouldn't even think of it.
I'm rubbing the back. I'm petting. I was like, should I? And I was like, hey, I didn't leave this puppy in the bathroom at Starbucks. It's not my fucking problem.
Why don't you just use your hands-on approach that you?
What do you think I did?
You did the hands-on approach?
No, of course I used my underwear and threw it away like a normal person.
Yeah, well,
Shame.
somebody mentioned using socks, and it's like, well, here's the thing, right? Okay, all right, you're gonna give up an article of clothing,
Mhm,
socks, underwear,
mhm.
but now you got to go throw it in the trash, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to empty that trash. Also,
Mhm.
that thing's, God knows how long that thing's going to sit in that trash.
Well, if it's a public restroom, it shouldn't sit too long.
Well, yeah, some public restrooms are better than others.
Yes. Correct.
Like I said, the what I experienced was sort of lower echelon. Let's put it that way. I mean, it was not a good experience, you know. So I didn't want to leave a foul smelling article of clothing. And what are you going to leave it on top of the trash can? You're going to
No,
bury
you bury
you
it.
bury, yeah. All right.
Yes.
So then you bury it, right? So you're
Sure.
burying it. So then when the guy empties it, that's the first thing he sees is a cock is a sock.
Hot. Whoa, whoa, Mike. I don't know what
Sorry.
bathrooms you're hanging out
I'll,
in.
I'll edit that. He'll see a sock with shit on it,
Yeah.
or
Well,
in
can
your
I present?
case, a pair of drawers that
Sock is just as good.
somebody's abandoned.
Sock is just as good. May I present this scenario? Do the sock. You're concerned about the remnants after you left. You worried about the
So,
people.
well, there's going to be a
Do a little
smell.
rinse. Do a
There's
little
going to be a
wash.
smell. Oh, so you're going to do a little wash,
Do a little wash in the
a
sink.
little laundry in the sink.
Why not? If you want to be courteous, and
See,
I
this
respect
is
that.
too much. Well,
See, what I would do is throw in the trash, bury it a little, and then like move to the next
uh-huh,
town. I would just
uh-huh.
leave and never be seen again. But if you want to be courteous to the cleanup crew, and I respect that, we had a couple of weeks talking about my worries here at my office. Do a little rinse in the sink, a little wash up. Wash the sock.
There is a lot of hand to shit
Well, obviously,
contact
when you're done,
going on.
you're gonna boil your hands no matter what. I
See,
mean,
you know,
just
people
touch.
were outraged, but my solution it resolved the problem. I held my head up high as I left.
You shouldn't have.
I was not foul smelling at the bar because I was still at the bar. Nobody was offended by an odor emanating from me.
Oh, some of the
I mean,
denizens of this bar that doesn't have toilet paper. Some of the regulars hanging out
yes,
there
I was worried about my
weren't offended by
reputation.
your smell.
The
Gee,
second time I'm there, I don't want to be the guy who was screaming from the bathroom for
well,
toilet paper.
it's not like you walked into like Prince William's wedding. You were at a bar that didn't seem too phased by the fact that there was no toilet paper there.
But anyway, yeah.
Wash the sock off, throw it in the bottom of the trash or the middle, put it in the middle of the trash so that
So this is like a 15-minute cleanup session.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have somewhere to be right away? You had a job interview in 10 minutes?
I
Is
think
that
there
why
was
you
a
had to get out of
beer
there?
waiting for me,
Oh, you
getting
had
warm.
beer waiting for you.
Getting warm.
You were willing to take a public used toilet brush to an
I
open.
examined it. I eyed it up. If the thing was foul looking, I wouldn't have used it.
You do have a certificate in toilet brush looking.
I'm
So
still here. I survived. I'm still
week.
walking around. I'm still
week.
here.
I'm just saying, let's get that check out ASAP.
I did appreciate everybody who's like, and I guess this is just, I don't even think this way. Whose instant solution was to go to your phone to call the bar.
I'll be honest, I assumed that was already off the table because of course you'd call. I assumed at the time that was out of the question.
I don't I didn't have my phone, but even if I had my phone, I don't know that I would have even thought of that. I guess I just don't have that. The phone. You
To be
know,
fair,
the phone is the solution to all my problems.
I don't know if I want to call somebody and have them coming in when I'm sitting there doing what I've done. To be fair, I don't know if I'd love that either. But I would have no problem with the sock solution, underwear solution. Boil the hands. Boom. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a jerk, but I'm sure somebody at that bar has seen some bad things. And
I'm sure
probably
they
are
have,
not
but
fazed by a washed sock.
they brought it on themselves, because by being incompetent, they could avoid all of this.
I can't believe you thought I was going to use that beautiful puppy.
No, I knew
Save
as
myself.
soon as you mentioned a puppy that we were in the realm of fantasy, and so I let you have your fun. It was fun. It was a fun little story.
Sorry.
No
Sorry.
animals were injured in this story.
No.
Um, but since the universe wink segment went over so well, I'm going to keep an eye out for
I mean, that
these
one's going to be
types.
tough to top.
They won't have to be doing with me all the time. I came across this story, and I guess you're a baseball fan. You probably maybe heard this story before, but I never heard it, and I was like, wow, that is a classic instant of the universe winking. You ever hear this story about Richie Ashburn? This is
Which one?
back. He played for the Philadelphia Phillies
I know who he is. Yeah.
back in August 17th, 1957. So we're going back quite a few years.
Mhm.
He hits a woman with a foul ball,
Mm.
and the poor woman was injured, and so they are getting her ready to take her out of the stands. I don't know if she was in a stretcher, but she was being attended to, and they were helping her out. Richie Ashburn hits her a second time. Same at bat.
That moment?
Same at bat.
Wow.
I mean, the same woman. Yeah, horrible, right? But that's an instance where the universe is winking at us, saying,
I mean, that's just kind of funny. I assume she's okay.
"Yeah, she survived." But I mean, what are
Did
the
they get
odds?
married? Is
What
this how
are,
they met and they have grandchildren now?
what are the odds?
The odds are slim.
Yeah.
But I don't compare that to the universe laughing at me like you in a bathroom stall with no toilet paper, and then choosing to use the worst option possible.
Well, if listeners want to offer any stories where they thought the universe was winking at them, you can put them in the comments.
No comment.
We love the comments. The comments are great. Any feedback is appreciated.
It did occur to me now that we're doing bathroom talk. Why do men why do we wash our hands after using a urinal as opposed to before? Now let me tell you what I mean. All day, my penis, we use that word, is behind not one, but two layers of clothing.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, my hands are out and about touching everything they can get on.
Right.
Table, chair, whatever, food, Chinese food,
Your phone.
beef worms, phone, outside, everything. But we go to the bathroom, we pull out and do our business, not that business, and then we wash our hands.
Right.
It's like one of these two things has been tucked away and safe all day, while the other has been touching every germ in sight. But we have the washing back. We should wash our hands before we touch our penis in such a situation.
Okay.
But we don't. We do it backwards. Why is that?
I see your point.
Thank you.
We'll let the listeners decide.
That's it.
I
mean,
I don't have any strong arguments. I hear what you're saying. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tucked away. It's not out and about. So yeah. Why are the hands considered?
Yeah, but the hands we don't wash before going.
Yeah.
But we do afterwards.
Yeah.
So, did I just flip society? Let's do a flippity flip on society.
It's
changing society.
It's probably just a custom. It may be partially it was a custom. It's
just something we do a million times without thinking about it.
Maybe going back to when we were caveman and we didn't even have clothes.
I thought you were going to say back to the early 80s. Caveman threw me off.
Back to the early 80s when we were just walking around with no clothes.
That's swinging.
Yeah, swinging it out there.
I do want to give a shout out to my girlfriend, Taylor Swift. I think she's my girlfriend because she sends me 9,000 videos every day. She got named Time Person of the Year.
Oh wow! Did not see that coming.
Yeah,
we only hear about her every 3 hours, and so we're getting updates where she is hourly now.
Yeah.
So
at what point are we going to start?
See, she was going to be the person of the year.
At what point is it okay to start getting annoyed that she's not just solving all the world's problems? It's like she could
Well,
snap her fingers,
right.
hunger would be over,
Yeah.
a couple of wars would be over,
Yeah, let's get her over there.
you know.
Get some USO shows going. You're right. What she can do she can do a hell of a lot more than make $1 billion
I
in
mean,
a year.
I don't want to tell anybody how to live their life, but at some
Uh-huh.
point, because
Yeah.
she's also not a kid. Like I still think that she's
No,
like a kid.
no.
She's like 34.
Right.
So she seems like a good person, better than me. So let's see if at some point she really starts to kick it into like, I'm fucking Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I could do some, Now I'm sure she has like 12 million charities she's running without me knowing, and but at some point I'm challenged. I guess what I'm doing is I'm challenging T-Swizz on Egg Foo What. Use this as an opportunity in
Uh-huh.
2024, really change the world.
Uh-huh.
And I
Is
don't
that her
just mean
nickname? Is
by
that a real nickname or is that your personal nickname?
T-Swizz.
Yeah.
That's me and her.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's
No, I
pretty
think
cool.
no, I didn't make that up. But
Uh-huh.
I did have my goddaughter and her sister going about 3 or 4 years thinking that she was my girlfriend. So, but they were idiots. So, but I'm challenging Taylor Swift. Spend less time sending me fucking videos every 5 minutes, and maybe sit back and take a minute and be like, in 2024, I, Taylor Swift, can really change the world in a great way. I think she can do it. I'm challenging her, and she's welcome to come on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe not our Christmas show, maybe not on
Maybe
my
we can book her with Rob Reiner. Get the two of them together.
maybe
Get some nice synergy going there.
not on my birthday. I don't want to be overshadowed, but yeah, just saying. That jumped up. Time.
Uh-huh.
You're T-Swizz, damn it.
T-Swizz. I want to send a shout out to one of our biggest fans, Jessica Elsener. I believe today is her birthday. And
Happy birthday.
happy birthday.
She's your they're your
Musical
great buddy.
collaborator, yes.
I was very happy to see someone take that burden. I was worried I was going to get weaseled into that after all these years, but
No,
when I saw that happening, I was happy to skip away.
I am not a musician, and if I have a funny idea, I'll run it by you next time.
Happy to have someone take
It wasn't
it
wasn't a knock or anything.
What's that?
Not tapping you for some musical collaborations.
What are you talking about?
Me and you doing a musical collaboration. You're a musical guy.
Wait, I thought you two were just Grateful Dead buddies.
No, no. I mean, I got to know Jessica through the Best Show.
Oh, y'all did something together.
No, well, you've never heard that stuff up on Bandcamp?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, check it out. apmike.bandcamp.com.
Jeez.
I've posted links. I guess this is how. What's that?
When was this?
Over the years. This is going back several years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
I've done. Yeah, it was really through the Best Show, and
let me guess. More people have downloaded and listened to that than have either of my albums.
I don't know what the numbers are, but as you probably know, it's hard to make money on Bandcamp. I feel for all the musicians on there. I would advise musicians, if they're going to go on Bandcamp, get some merch going too, because that's the only way you can sort of make some money.
I mean, you see Spotify came out and they're like, we're not even going to bother pretend to pay artists below.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like, geez.
I don't know how they can do that. I mean, how much do musicians get paid if a song is played on the radio? I mean, it's like just a standard amount, right?
There's like a mechanical rate that, yeah.
Right.
I don't know what it is. But it does seem odd that overnight we all just collectively said, oh, great, we'll get all our music for free from now on. Musicians won't get paid except for certain people. And now we're at the point where Spotify comes out and says, yeah, guess what? We're not even going to pay. We're not even going to pretend to pay the bottom parts. And we're like, yeah, cool.
But I don't know how they can get away with that. I mean, it's copyrighted material. So I don't know. I thought as long as this material is copyrighted, it's protected, that there has to be some sort of transaction to use it. I mean, will this be the end of Spotify? People just yank their music from the site? Because I guess
Well,
they
that's my
have.
point. From what I could tell, it was met with a big, oh, okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't stop listening to Spotify. I just kept,
Right,
I was like,
right.
oh man, they're the worst. This sucks. And then boom, 11 hours of Spotify.
No, I mean it's a great convenience. All these. I mean, certain things are on certain streamers now, so it's a little confusing. They're not everywhere. And then there's if you're an audiophile, Spotify doesn't have their loss list. Even know what that is?
A
Loss
lot.
list. It's sort of a higher, I guess, bit rate for the file.
I'm
So
not a musician like you and Jessica.
it's yeah, it's so Spotify is a little below, say, CD quality. Uh,
Right.
Cobuzz and Tidal, they use higher rate bit rate, I guess.
You have
Uh,
title?
no, I have Cobuzz, and to tell you the truth, I can't hear the difference. Um, I guess you have to have sophisticated equipment where you can hear these things.
Yeah, I can never hear that. It's like,
Yeah, I'm not a true audiophile with
no,
some huge system,
no.
but
All right, well,
yeah.
I'll go on Bandcamp and give these I mean, I'm here every week spouting my bullshit to try to get people to listen. You've been sitting on this whole time. I feel like an
Well,
idiot.
well, no, this went out. Like I said, this was years ago. I haven't really done anything recently. I guess the last thing I did a little.
Because I was talking about, I was happy to have somebody take the Grateful Dead stuff off my plate. So
No, the last thing I did, I think, was the after watching the Bruce on Broadway.
mhm.
I sort of did Mike on Broadway, and I did a little narration with Jessica playing piano in the background. It came out very nice.
How do I not? I've never heard of this.
Well, it just shows that you're not reading my tweets. You're not,
Of course, I'm not reading your
you're
stupid.
not
Of
reading my posts on Facebook. You
course, I'm not
follow
reading your
me, but
Facebook
it's
post.
it's like I guess you're just skimming past my social media.
Of
Uh,
course, I'm scrolling right past your bullshit. But you'd think you would have told me, like if you went out, actually told me.
well, all right.
A
This
little hurt.
was
That's all.
You'll
I have
see.
feelings,
This was several years ago. Anyway,
just like that little puppy I saw in the corner of that Starbucks bathroom. I have feelings.
so
Of course,
I take it there was no fortune sick.
of course not.
Why do I ask?
No, it's strange. The place I ordered from had beef noodle soup, chicken noodle soup, obviously,
Uh,
but they didn't have pork noodle soup.
yeah, it's weird. I guess. Yeah, and you see it in soup. It's in the wonton soup.
I didn't want to get the chicken because it just chicken noodle soup doesn't sound Chinese,
Well, we already did chicken noodle soup.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay. Guess I wasn't too worried about it then.
I have to check now because we already did. Nobody caught us. We did a repeat. If you
Well, at least we're
get,
doing Chinese food again after, your whole I don't do Chinese food thing. But did we finish McNuggets ranking?
yeah, we did. I mean, we did four. I mean,
Did we rank them?
uh, well, I ranked Popeyes number one.
Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, I assume.
No, I was not. I
We
was
had
not.
Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and Wendy's.
Yeah, I think
So Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's. Yeah. And they were all great.
you put Wendy's at the bottom. Yeah, you had a
McDonald's,
better.
yeah, the batch I got were just so fantastic.
I got to put McDonald's at the bottom. Mine were just like they just felt like they were out of the freezer and warmed up.
Sometimes, yeah, it depends on the batch you get. Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, I feel like are way more consistent anyway. You go,
Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A would have been higher on my list if they weren't so tiny.
You heard him, Chick-fil-A. But what are you putting above Chick-fil-A?
Popeyes.
Well, I mean, me too. Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, and then Mickey D's and Wendy's. What are you putting? You say McDonald's at the bottom, so Wendy's third?
Yeah.
All right. We'll have to agree to disagree. We'll have to agree that you know what the hell you're talking about.
The possibility of a career change is near.
That is a fortune. Does this career change have anything to do with this comically large check I'm about to get from Megfu One?
Yeah. I don't think so. But I was contemplating. I saw some article about some woman cleaning up doing DoorDash. I'm like, well, that's something I might be able to do. You just go out and deliver people junk food in the afternoon.
I've never heard any story from workers except it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I considered Uber, but gas prices are high now. Did they even reimburse you for the gas?
Oh,
No,
I think they're pretty terrible.
yeah,
From what I've heard, I don't want to.
yeah. No, I've talked to some of these Uber drivers. I've been getting. I'm new to this Uber experience, so always chat them up. I mean, I know you like to sit in the back and just be quiet, right? You don't even talk to them. You just imagine there's a glass between you and the person
that would be nice. Or concrete.
So you don't even chat them up when you get an Uber.
What do you mean chat them up?
Just have a conversation.
Hello, how are you?
And
then I do the I'm on a call. I'm on a call. I can't talk.
Oh, then you just stare at your phone for the whole time.
Right. Which is what I'll be doing anyway.
No.
Yeah, they don't want to talk to me. Nobody wants to talk to me.
It's interesting finding out about people, what they're doing, and so I ask them about the whole Uber experience. And I mean, I was talking to this one guy, and I mean, he was doing like crazy. I mean, long hours, unbelievable mileage. He said he was making it work for him, but I don't know. It was, like I said, it seemed like a lot of driving. But
that's the job.
But this DoorDash, this DoorDash article,
how do you like your new Uber gig? A lot of driving.
Now, this DoorDash article was, I guess it was a woman and a single mom or something, and she was saying she made it work. She was able to just keep, she only took things that were close by. She wasn't doing long trips, and she was making it work.
Was this story written by DoorDash?
I don't know, but yeah, I thought about it for about 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to follow through. I mean, I remembered, pizza delivery in Bayonne was like, I remember seeing this guy, I think he was retired. So he was just doing this for some spending money, I guess. But he did it for years. Every time I went to this place, this guy was there. And this was a pizzeria that stayed open until 4 a.m. in the middle of the night.
You're better chit chatter than me. You're better small talker than me. I would not last at all. You're better.
Which is a surprise. I always thought you were a chatty guy, and I found out through this podcast that you're more of a reserved dude. But it's been a learning experience.
Unwrap this onion, Mike. A lot of layers.
A lot of layers.
80 episodes in, and you're just finally discovering the flower.
Well, I want to thank everybody for listening. Hit that bell, hit the subscribe button, do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. Hit the button.
The numbers are rising.
The numbers are rising.
We're not bothering with you with ads yet, but that's the goal, right? To be so popular that the ads start popping up in the middle of this thing.
Does that happen automatically? No.
I think you have to reach a certain level of numbers before they say, okay.
Are you saying in the year 2024 we're going to take on Mr. Beast? Because
I've
already got Taylor Swift on blast, and China and Rob Reiner. I'm really juggling a lot.
What's Mr. Beast?
You know who Mr. Beast is?
No.
He's like the biggest YouTuber. He does all these crazy stunts.
Oh, okay. He's a stunt
But he
guy.
also does, like, I've got a little deep dive, and I want to hate him because I assume I'm like, oh, he's some young shithead doing this, but he seems like the greatest guy in the world. He does these crazy stunts and everything, but he also does things like gives hearing aids to 10,000 people who can hear for the
Okay.
first time.
All right. That's nice.
So
Yeah.
he mix it with this really great stuff.
He's giving back.
Yeah, yeah, like I mean, I'm sure something at some point will come out. He's a monster.
You want me to donate your Christmas gift to a particular charity?
No, no, no. I want you to send it triple courier. Get on a Greyhound bus yourself to my
Yeah.
doorstep.
Okay.
But so he just seems like in these videos he does are just insanely, they're entertaining, and he seems to be helping change some lives. So
Uh-huh.
I'm a Mr. Beast fan. So I think we can set our sights on get his I don't know 350 million followers. Set our
Uh-huh.
sights on that. Then next year you can say the numbers are good. Taking on a lot this year, so we'll
All
see.
right.
All right, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week. Mm-hmm.